But there's also creatures that don't take so kindly to you being the planet's newest resident. And they have various means of,
I need
how do I
the
say,
no
redacting
to
So in this video,
get away from the roof.
your existence. Today we're going to be taking a look at these creatures, learning where they live, how to deal with them, and just how dangerous they really are. So without further ado, let's dive right in. A gas cluster of it, they don't feel threatened, and stay aware of your surroundings to avoid accidentally backing into one. If you're looking to collect the gas pods, try collecting a few at a time from around the edge of the cluster. And if you start taking damage, the prawn suit, just try and stay close to it. And in the sea moth, the sonar and perimeter defense modules are almost essential. But what if you're out in the open with a Reaper and don't have a vehicle or base to run inside? Well, your first instinct is probably going to be to swim away as fast as you can in the other direction, but this is actually a really bad idea. Reapers are strong and fast, meaning they'll have no problems catching up to you even if you're using a sea glide. Instead, you're going to want to use your size and maneuverability to your advantage. When a Reaper is charging you, wait for it to get close, then start strafing to either the left or right in a circle. It won't be able to turn fast enough to get you, and once it stops its attack, then you can run for the hills. If you don't feel confident strafing, you can also freeze a Reaper with a stasis rifle, or briefly stun it with the repulsion cannon. But the Reaper isn't even the biggest creature to roam the planet's surface. That distinction goes to the Ghost Leviathan. You can find 3 juvenile Ghost Leviathans in the Lost River, while the adults patrol the Grand Reef, Northern Blood Kelp, and Dead Zone. Luckily, their high bioluminescence means you can almost always see them coming, but they still pack a heavy punch, dealing enough damage to 2-shot you, 3-shot your sea moth, and leave your Cyclops and prawn suit needing significant repairs. As long as you aren't in a Cyclops, Ghost Leviathans tend to start their attacks from far enough away that turning around and running can be a viable strategy. This is good because strafing doesn't really work on Ghost Leviathans due to their larger hip pockets. River offers a variety of terrain, flora, and other putting some Ghost Leviathans usually just be aware that the it'll take
here, so this is just a short video to show you how you can see what's your ability that we are able to.
Oh, we need a. Oh, it's not good.
acquired. Fluid intake. Vital signs stabilizing. Calorie intake recommended. Vital signs stabilizing.
My pulse, and no harm will come to you, stupid dog. I've been through all the game theory on this moment 1,000 times. So this rubber, he said you might be asked for pulse.
Is designed to construct habitats capable of withstanding extreme environmental conditions.
Alright, can find music. Ooh. Okay. There's the titanium. Thank you, Subnatica, for answering my prayers and finally get this radio call. Even though it's just gonna be another life pod. Yep.
This is Life Pod 6. I have a passenger on board. Coordinates attached. We've landed a kilometer from the crash site, but there's radiation in between
Nope.
us and the rendezvous.
A kilometer.
Immediate assistance. 6 out.
Signal coordinates corrupted. Approximate
Oh, they in
transmission
there.
origin recorded to date.
Send me y'all location. Find yourself, boy. I kind of forgot how to use this. Ignore those.
After weeks without human contact, it is normal to experience psychological discomfort. Research indicates symptoms may be partly alleviated by adopting a pet or anthropomorphizing an inanimate object.
Let me just go adopt a reaper. Oh, cuttlefish, I'm stupid. I already have the freaking cover.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
vehicle upgrade station.
Now, there are 4 locations for this. It is a data box.
All systems online.
There is another area with a video. It doesn't come up. It's one for the suggestion with that one. Pretty much 95% sure it will spawn in this location. Now, in terms of location, where it's starting from, we're going to start from these coral tubes here. It's like a horn-shaped coral tube. Just near my life pod. However, you might not spawn here. Your life pod might be there, or there. Multitude of other areas. So starting here, give you the exact distance and direction. Okay, now what I suggest as well is you put down a beacon and you know how far. Okay, so let's look at where we need to go. Now, if you have life pod 19, you pretty much go into that direction. Not quite as far and certainly not as deep. Going slightly half-click right and southwest. I'll explain a little bit more shortly. I hope that we're going to be going deeper into the sparse reef. Where we're going, there is no threat. It is safe. In terms of the fear index, I'm going to give it a strong 3 or 4. It is quite scary to look at it, but rest assured it is safe. Okay, so once we get there, we will then swim down. Now, obviously, you haven't got any depth modules as of yet. You may have got one from the Aurora, but I'm going to assume that you haven't. The depth module, obviously, as of yet, you may have got one from the Aurora, but I'm going to assume that you haven't. You will need the depth module, obviously. We're all going 200 down to sea moss handle without the depth module. I do recommend you have a decent oxygen tank. You don't need a rebreather, you just get out and see the potential things in sea lining if you wanted, but quite deep. Okay, so we're passing through now into the sparse reef. It's held by these peaks, water colour change. Now, I do recommend from here during the day, some biome will make a difference. This does. You're going to get a lot more better visibility. So what we're looking out for is this huge sort of cave system here. Looking up, actually pushed out, and then there is a wreckage here. Now what we're looking for is a sort of lit up sort of data box. See it? There it is. When we drink it tonight, that's what it's going to look like. Okay, so guys, this is the one. Okay, let's go down. Here we go, guys. This is the one. There we go. Vehicle upgrade console. Here. Well, that's it, guys. I do hope you enjoyed the video. Remember, if you haven't found it at this location, try it in the next video. That's it. I'll see you soon. Ciao for now. Bye.
Look for data boxes in this wreck.
dye their grays shamelessly. Weston Boucher, he's a model who shamelessly dyes his grays, and we love it. Before he started dyeing his hair, you could see there was a lot of grays, some meant to be
Petals. 对呀，学的这 petals 包括大脑一切。
Well, let me show you how to make. Well, let me show you how to make these creamy poblano turkey enchiladas. It's a holiday. 500 cigarettes. 500 cigarettes. Baby, did you see the new girl in school?
Yeah, her name's Martha. She was helping me in science today.
Oh, really?
What?
So you like her?
Well, yeah, she was being nice and helping me. What's the problem?
Okay.
You know my heart only beats for you.
Okay.
No one can feel the war inside of me. So quit playing.
Okay.
That shit is so corny. Nobody wants to hear this volume. Say I.
Did you know cottonwood tree fluff becomes super flammable once it dries? Some people even burn it to clear their yards. It's risky. Once it catches fire, the flames can spread in every direction within seconds. In places like Colorado and Utah, cottonwood trees are everywhere, so officials often remind people just how dangerous these fires can get. Still, when the fluff's spread thinly on the ground like this, it usually burns so fast that it doesn't have time to ignite anything else. Did you know cottonwood tree fluff becomes super flammable once it dries? Some people even burn it.
right here, this is the type of music that'll make a deaf person get up out of their bed and turn the music on. Artists that make straight
This is the type of music that make a deaf person get out of their room. I mean, get out of their bed and turn the music on and stuff.
Welcome aboard, Captain. All systems online.
Okay, guys, I was perfectly fine when I said that I would start taking daily showers.
Start.
Hopefully, guys,
Start.
this opportunity encouraged you to get out of your comfort zone.
I don't know, the vocabulary being used here is preposterous, bro. I'm astonished. Why you said you're gonna start?
This video was made in partnership with CuriosityStream. Fish are one of the most diverse factions in the entire game. They are extremely popular among both casual and competitive players, and make up the vast majority of the aquatic player base. And with so many different potential fish builds to choose from, it can be difficult to know which builds are actually competitively viable in the current meta. So today, we're going to go through the tier list of fish. This will by no means be a comprehensive tier list. I mean, there are more than 3,000 variants of the catfish build alone. Still, by highlighting the standout builds in both high and low tiers, hopefully I can give you a good understanding of where the fish faction fits into the current meta. And if there's a fish I didn't include, hopefully by seeing my logic in this video, you'll be able to evaluate that fish build yourself. Oh, also, quick disclaimer, since I've already made a shark tier list, I'm omitting sharks from this video. But before we dive into the tier list, first I want to give you an overview of the abilities commonly found in the fish faction, as well as some background on the history of the fish build. So the basic fish build doesn't have much in terms of unique perks or abilities, which is actually great, as it means that each player has a lot of room for customization. The basic fish build is most famous for its use of the fin and gill abilities, both of which offer huge advantages in water, while predictably being entirely useless in land. Back during the Devonian expansion, long before the Lord of the faction had unlocked terrestrial builds, fish were the top tier build in the game, having a crushing matchup against the top arthropods, their main competitors. In today's meta, though, fish have to compete with a lot more than just arthropods, and typically placed below the top marine builds like cetaceans and cephalopods. And with the nerfs to the Plagiodorm armor ability that fish used to have access to, fish have had to get creative with their game strategies in order to survive the current meta. Now let's get into the tier list to see which strategies and abilities are worth speccing into if you're a fish player. Seahorses are an extremely strange build with the lowest mobility stat of any fish in the game. This mobility stat is due entirely to their strange choice to spec into the prehensile tail ability at the cost of all but one of their fins. Now don't get me wrong, the prehensile tail ability can be extremely useful, especially for arboreal builds that use them to tether themselves to trees while keeping their hands and legs free for foraging. For a marine build though, I think there are better choices available. All the prehensile tail does is allow the seahorse to anchor itself to plants and rocks, preventing itself from getting tossed around by the current, which again it wouldn't need to do if it didn't lack fins. Now, they do have pretty solid armor, which can make them difficult to actually take out, but their extreme lack of mobility means the seahorse cannot dodge attacks. This leads them to getting smacked around by any player who feels like it, even ones without any special combat perks, and with their best matchup being against plankton, to me, there's no way the seahorse places any higher than F tier. Also in F tier, we have the ocean sunfish. This probably isn't too shocking, given that the sunfish is famously bad at defending itself. But for those unaware, the ocean sunfish has the highest HP stat of any fish in the game, and relies on its giant size for protection. Similar to the sea.
Seek fluid intake.
Sunfish gets pulled hard by many of the common marine threats, both large and small. They get torn to bits and tossed around particularly badly by the mammalian player base. Sea lions and orcas in particular love flexing their superiority over the largest fish build in the game. But the sunfish has another huge weakness: parasite. See, the sunfish has soft, mucus-coated skin instead of the scales traditionally used by fish players. This makes the sunfish more vulnerable to parasites, which unfortunately means that even the best sunfish mains have to play while suffering from a wide variety of debuffs from parasite infestations. The sunfish players often solicit the help of support mains like the wrasse and shrimp to help cleanse themselves, and may even sit at the water's surface to give bird mains the chance to attack the parasites. The gigantism strategy is usually a pretty reliable strategy for avoiding attacks. Elephants, whales, hippos, and rhinos are generally safe from attacks once they reach their max size. However, I think in order to make this strategy work, you need to actually be able to strike back to discourage repeated attacks. Otherwise, you're kind of just a damage sponge and will have your HP slowly whittled down, as we often see happen to the sunfish mains. So because of all these vulnerabilities and over-reliance on support players for help, I have to place the ocean sunfish in F tier.
Every Mazda is engineered to give you effortless control.
Flying Fish is a build with an extremely unique playstyle centered around maximizing mobility. By putting a huge amount of evolution points into their fin trait and mobility stat, they've actually gained the ability to glide through the air for surprisingly long distances. This is useful as an escape option when being attacked by a larger fish player. However, as unique a move as this is, I actually think this is a pretty poor strategy overall. Being airborne might put you out of range of an attack from another fish, but it's by no means a safe position, and in many cases is actually seriously disadvantageous. Without any way to dodge attacks midair, flying fish are extremely vulnerable to bird attacks, which kind of nullifies the benefit of escaping an aquatic pursuer. And in addition, with no way to change direction midair, it's actually not that difficult for said fish player to just intercept the flying fish's landing. So overall, not that useful of an ability, tacked onto an otherwise unremarkable build. Also in D tier we have the salmon family, which includes the fish builds like the trout and the char. This build actually has some pretty impressive stats, with high mobility being pretty much required in order to withstand the constant rushing flow of the rivers that they use as their respawn points. Similar to the flying fish, this playstyle is also highly vulnerable to disruption from non-aquatic players. As impressive as it is that salmon and trout mains are able to make these insane jumps, the sad truth is that the thing that they're most well known for is being an easy source of XP for carnival.
Fluid intake
Now,
immediately.
this jumping ability is also useful for attacking flying builds midair, but the salmon's power stat isn't quite enough to be able to take down anything that is far below their weight. At the bottom of C tier, we have the catfish, one of the tankier builds on this list with a bulky yet versatile stat spread. A lot of players undervalue the catfish and see it as low-tier trash, usually being a bottom feeder, not realizing that they've actually got a few decent unique abilities, most important of which is their venom. Rather than speccing their fin appendages to do things like flying or flexing, the catfish build spec'd into fins that have barbs on them, which can deliver a venomous sting. While their venom usually isn't able to deal lethal damage, it's still a decent defensive ability. It does have its weaknesses though, particularly to long, disjointed hitboxes, such as the spear-like beaks of some bird builds. Nonetheless, the catfish is still a reliable and easy-to-play build, being omnivorous and able to gain plenty of XP simply by digging through the mud for scraps. Also in C tier we have the archer fish, the only fish build with the ability to use a ranged attack. This projectile deals essentially 0 damage, but it's by no means useless. This projectile has high knockback, making it excellent for pushing players into vulnerable positions. A waterlogged insect is one of the easiest targets in the game, and being able to force that type of interaction is an extremely powerful build. This ability does have its limitations though. As is the case with most projectiles, this attack is unusable in the water, meaning that the archerfish doesn't really have any good moves for PvP against other aquatic players. I think the biggest weakness of this playstyle though is the position that you're forced into in order to make use of your projectile weapon. Being near the surface of the water makes you vulnerable to both attacks from below and above, And with no defense against either, the Archerfish is a high-risk, decent reward build. Being near the surface of the water makes you vulnerable to playstyle, though, is the position that you're forced into in order to make use of your projectile weapon. Being near the surface of the water makes you vulnerable to both attacks from below and above. And with no defense against either, the Archerfish is a high-risk, decent reward build. In B tier, we have the builds that are generally solid picks, but lack any truly overpowered abilities. First is the Bass, the poster child for the phrase, big fish in a small pond. With solid stats and the ability to grow larger than most other freshwater lake fish, the bass can easily dominate their local scene, even to the point of depleting the area of resources by gobbling them all up. Their generalist nature and large jaws mean they can prey upon just about anything, from smaller fish to crustaceans to even builds like frogs and alligators. While there's not that much that's flashy or unique about this strategy, there's no denying that the bass is a consistent threat in the pond meta, and I consider them the gatekeepers of the higher tiers. Also in B tier, we have the fish faction's premier support class, the Cleaner Ross. The Cleaner Ross specializes in cleansing larger fish players of parasites, providing an extremely useful service in the form of removing debuffs from any fish player in need, similar to the Oxpecker on land. Parasites are a major threat to fish players, so it's no surprise that oftentimes even top-tier builds like Sharks will add Cleaner Ross players to their party. Ross do have to rely on their reputation to protect them, and while betrayals during cleansing sessions are rare, swimming into a mouthful of dagger-like teeth is not without risk.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Alright, now we're in A tier, and this is where things start to get a bit overpowered. First, we have the Pickerel Guild, which includes the pike and muskellunge, the most fearsome freshwater fish in the game. These vicious fish builds are highly aggressive and attack anything in or around their domain, from fish to birds to mammals and even humans. Their powerful jaws sport sharp crocodile-esque teeth, which deal serious damage and grip their target, preventing their escape. But it's not just about power with these fish. Their slender body and camouflage allow them to easily hide in cover, waiting for the perfect ambush opportunity. And unlike Shroud, when these fish jump, it's not just to clear an obstacle. They jump to attack. Their only weakness is a slow growth rate and long respawn time. But even at low levels, these fish are adept ships. While not part of the Pickerel Guild, I also include the Barracuda in this same rating, as they have very similar playstyle. Giant size is not a requirement to be a high-tier predator, though, as exemplified by the next build on this list, the Piranha.
Silverado EV RST, with up to 460 miles of GM estimated range, more standard range than any competitor.
Piranhas are one of the best, if not the best, example of how with the right combination of special abilities and team strategies, size genuinely doesn't matter. Their special ability, Feeding Frenzy, leaves Piranha Shoal DPS to one of the highest in the game, able to absolutely melt through the HP of even the tankiest targets. In contrast to the Salmon and Trout, because of their favorable matchup against larger players, Piranhas are the only fish build on this list that I think actually make great use of its positional advantage in rivers, as many mammals and bird names will be forced to cross your territory over the course of your playthrough and fall victim to your frenzy attacks. Their main weakness is a lack of defensive capability, meaning that they can still be easily one-shot by other predator players. The next build on this tier list does not share this weakness. The Lionfish is one of the most well-defended fish builds in the game, relying on a huge arsenal of venomous spines to deal serious damage to attackers, similar to the Porcupine build on land. Because of this, the Lionfish is an infamously unpleasant target to attack, and most predator players tend to either ignore or actively avoid them. While their other stats are quite low, this certainly hasn't stopped them from rising to dominance in their home server of the Indo-Pacific. Lionfish are also generalists who gobble up anything that their low mobility stat allows them to catch, which can quickly deplete the server of its resources. And because of their quick respawn rate, lionfish have rapidly spread to other ocean servers without much pushback, at least until they reach the top of their planet. See, there is one fish build that has been able to consistently take down lionfish, and once I show you how broken some of their abilities are, it'll be easy to understand why. We've got 2 more builds to showcase in S tier, but real quick, I just want to point out that this is the longest video I've made so far. It took a huge amount of time and resources to produce. So if you're enjoying it and want more content like this, please do consider subscribing. Thanks.
Or, I think I know where magnetite is. We'll go to
A set of strange yet highly functional
Flash in the bird.
So first, their stats. While the highest aquatic power rating falls to sharks and whales, a close runner-up is the moray. Their teeth resemble broken glass and can do similarly brutal damage in combat. Their mobility is surprisingly high for a fish that lacks pectoral and pelvic fins, but in addition to having great maneuverability in the tight spaces of a reef, they're capable of some pretty impressive bursts of speed too. Their stealth may seem low due to their vibrant coloring, but honestly, bright colors are everywhere in reef servers, so they don't stick out too much. In fact, their ability to contort and fit into crevices and other tight spaces gives them a pretty huge advantage for ambushing other players. Where things get interesting though is with their defense. The moray has a slime-based special ability, which serves multiple defensive purposes. It protects them from taking abrasion and puncture damage while passing through sharp coral and jagged spaces within the reef. But perhaps more surprisingly, it's great at deflecting damage from things like teeth and spikes. Not only does this give them a great matchup against sharks, but it also makes them one of the only builds in the game capable of taking down the line. This excellent matchup spread makes placing the moray heal in S tier an easy decision. The final build on this tier list is the billfish. This includes the marlin, swordfish, and sailfish, all of which have similar playstyles. This group is top tier for two reasons. First is that they have the highest swim speed in the game, beating out not just all other fish, but also mammals and birds. In addition to having unmatched speed, their large dorsal fins allow them to make tighter turns than most fish too, making them extremely good at chasing down prey. Their most unique trait, however, is their bill, one of the strangest offensive abilities in the game. Useful for both slashing and stabbing, this attack is one of the few in the game able to hit multiple targets at once. This makes it excellent for countering the ubiquitous safety in numbers strategy many fish players adopt. And since the billfish hunt in packs, they can rack up insane kill counts, rivaling the hunting prowess of even a pot of dolphins. With busted stats and a signature move that's both flashy and downright broken, to me there's no question that the billfish is the most overpowered fish build in the game. Regardless of
systems online. Support a microcosm of unique, possibly predatory life forms. Detecting an artificial structure somewhere in the region.
Hellscape. Thank you, Subnatica. Let's see. Oh,
aboard, Captain.
To approach.
Just give me a piece of copper, god damn, bro.
Passing 100 meters. Oxygen efficiency decreased.
Ranks high.
Where's through the copper? Nah, I'm good. Anything but copper. Just give me anything but copper. Just give me copper.